Hey guys.
Welcome back to Harsh-Worded Tenderhearted. I was watching the video that we posted
Last week.
and my forehead is literally the size of a small country.
You think? I didn't think it was that big. Or
I
at least I
was-
didn't notice.
I noticed it immediately, and I was like, that's insane.
I don't
That
think
is
your
insane.
forehead is that big.
I think it's bad.
I think
and
our
it's getting
family has big
worse.
foreheads. And
Yes.
you definitely have.
A
our family's forehead.
Yeah.
But I don't think your forehead's like that big. Like
Oh
I don't think
my
it's like
God.
Icelandic big.
It was bad in the video that I posted last week, so now I'm facing forward. But it's bad. It's worse on my side profile.
I don't think it's big. I just think it's round.
Like it sticks out.
No, not
Oh.
protruding round. Like just like the top is like round. Like it's a round shape.
I literally have Papa's head. I have his forehead because I look back at pictures and sometimes I was looking at the video and it
Matching
was shiny
foreheads?
right here. And you know how we used to get that?
Yeah.
I was like, no way is my hairline that bad already at
Oh
27.
my
Like,
gosh.
screw the Gapoos jeans. But also apologies for the awful video quality.
Yeah, that was kind of
last week.
crazy. It was like focusing in and out like every 2 seconds.
Yeah, ironically, as we were talking about the ghost.
Could have been the
But-
ghost, could have been the lighting.
Exactly.
Could have been both.
Could have been both. Could have been both. But it was the worst it's ever been.
Yeah, that was crazy. I was
That
editing
was
it and
I
I
was
was like,
getting
oh my
dizzy
goodness.
watching it.
Yeah. It was making me annoyed.
So we apologize for that. Hopefully it's better this week. But today we're going to talk about 10 healthy habits that you should adopt that will change your lifestyle. The mic stands are also new and weird. I don't know what the hell to do with my hands.
Yeah, we're kind of getting used to it.
So the first habit we're going to talk about today is journaling. I am not always a huge journaler, but I think it's a good habit to have. And I find myself gravitating towards it when I'm struggling a lot.
Me too.
But I don't do the whole Dear Diary, today I went to the store and I met this person. I do it in a way that I'm kind of exercising my mind and training my mind to think a certain way. I started therapy when I was 12, but it's been very on and off. I went through a lot of different therapists and stuff. That's why therapy was going to be on this list, because I journal using techniques I learned from therapy. I learned this one from Soph Mosca, who I watch a lot on YouTube, but she journals, she heard it from somewhere else, but she writes reasons that she loves herself, but kind of in an outside perspective, and things that are going to sound so stupid and feel so stupid to be writing about, but it really does help once you do it for like 2 weeks. You feel stupid for 2 weeks, but then you feel like you believe
feel
it.
better.
You
Yeah.
believe it after 2 weeks. And I was struggling for the first little bit. I could not think of a single reason, and I had to kind of resort to things that I do. So I would write like, I love Natasha because she makes me dinner every night, or I love Natasha because she wears outfits that make her feel confident. And it's like it would be things that I do that could also be applied to other people, but I'm
writing about yourself.
exactly.
It's hard when you're struggling because it makes you want to quit.
Yeah, that's true. I think it was very, very quick for me to feel positive feelings towards it, because when you're reading it, it's your name.
Yeah.
You know? So like you feel so stupid that you have to believe it. Because it's like you either believe it or you feel like a fool.
Yeah. Which one's worse?
You feel like you have like it's like an outside personality almost. So like you kind of adopt it and you believe it, and then it turned into things that I feel or think.
So it's like positive affirmations. kind
Yeah,
of.
yeah. Then I was able to kind of say like, I love Natasha because she takes care of everybody around her, or like things like that. Then I was able to kind of introspect that way. I also do gratefulness because I have a really hard time feeling grateful in times of distress. I think that's a normal thing.
Yeah.
So when I'm feeling stressed out, I do daily gratitude, and it can range from people or places or things. Like I've been grateful for fucking McDonald's before. Okay? Like I'm talking like scraps. Like if you're just pick up the scraps. Just pick up the
Yeah.
scraps and put them on the paper and read them out loud.
Because at least it's something. Like at least you're getting yourself started.
Exactly. You'll
Yeah.
build something out of the scraps. They'll pile up
Aw,
and
that was
become a huge
poetic.
house.
That
Right?
was so poetic.
And I also do daily achievements because I have a hard time feeling proud of myself.
I love that. You know what? Some people don't celebrate their little wins. I think people need to celebrate the little wins.
Exactly. It's all
Yeah.
about like the little things that you
Like
don't really
patting
think
yourself
about.
on the back.
Yeah. And it very well could be staying awake for 16 hours today, or staying awake for like,
Yeah.
you know, or
Or getting McDonald's because at least you're eating.
exactly, eating 3 meals today. Like, it sounds so stupid, but it helps in the long run if you're able to absorb it in the right way. You have to be in the right mindset though to absorb it in the right way. Otherwise, you're just going to be stuck there feeling like a fool and you're not going to want to do it again.
That's true. I also journal, but I journal in the way that where it's like I'm like my journal's a person that I'm telling things to.
Okay,
So
yeah.
I like Dear Diary.
Which I also think is important because especially people that aren't in therapy, it's an outlet. You need an outlet. Nobody ever should hold everything on their own.
Yeah, it makes me feel like I get my feelings out, so I'm not holding it in.
Yeah.
Because I have a tendency to like bottle things up, and then it's like, oh, it's the bottle's gonna break.
Right.
So then
right.
if I'm like journaling, then it like helps me sort of get it out there without like being explosive. I'm trying to make the habit of making the habits I want to practice more accessible. So like putting my floss in my direct view when I'm like brushing my teeth so that I don't have to go in my drawer. Like, so I'm like eliminating extra steps that like could be places where I make excuses for.
Make it like less of a chore.
Yeah.
Another thing that I do kind of goes along with journaling and the way that I journal, but positive self-talk and like affirmations, but out loud.
Like in the mirror. Or
I
just, like-
don't always look. I don't love looking at myself in the mirror. So I don't always do it in the mirror. I often find myself doing it just randomly throughout the day.
So like talking to yourself.
Pretty much like
Yeah.
talking to yourself, but positively, because I talk to myself out loud very often negatively by accident.
Oh.
Because I'm always talking to myself out loud.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and I'm hard on myself. So when I'm talking out loud and I just kind of like let the negative things constantly come out, I make sure that I kind of balance it out with a positive out loud thing. So at least I'm like hearing it too.
That's true.
You know, I've also talked about how I'm a little bit isolated in my life right now. Not that I have a problem with it. I'm actually kind of loving it. But I don't hear people speak a lot.
Yeah.
Not that I need validation. I don't have the opportunity even to get validation.
Yeah, but it's still nice to get it.
Right. So like I have to give it to myself out loud because hearing it is so important. Because when you're saying it in your head, like I don't believe half the thoughts I have. I can't. Oh, half of them are intrusive.
That's actually true now that I think about it.
Are you kidding? If I believed half of the thoughts, all the thoughts that I had, I would not be sitting on this couch, let me tell you. So I don't trust a lot of my thoughts. So choosing what I say out loud is so important. So I'll like literally just tell myself I'm doing a great job that day, or like it's okay, self-soothing. I have to do out loud. I have talked before about how I am very familiar with self-soothing. So now as an adult, when I feel the need to self-soothe, it's like I've trained my mind to be automatically positive, because for so long I had to like outburst until I could gain the calmness to self-soothe. So it's like as soon as I feel it coming on that I'm gonna like start getting frustrated or whatever, it's like, okay, self-soothe.
Being proactive.
Yeah, that's huge for me as an adult, and I found it helped so much, because it's kind of like everybody can say, oh, like whatever, if I have a breakdown, I'm gonna deal with it. But what about like training yourself to not have the breakdown?
Yeah.
You know?
You're kind of nipping it in the bud before it even
Yeah.
blooms.
Yes. And I talk about having BPD a lot, and I know it's not so much so, even especially as an adult, that it's like a personality trait. I try so hard and I work so hard at like maintaining myself that I've met people in the past few years that literally don't believe me, which is unbelievably huge.
That you don't have it?
Yeah.
They don't believe that you have it?
Yeah. And like people in my day-to-day life, even like people at work, or like things like that, which is insane, because 10 years ago, 8 years ago, if you just walked by me on the street and I didn't speak to you, you'd be like, that girl has BPD.
Oh, actually?
That girl has fucking BPD. Like, I was like a complete, like, you have to read me. If you knew me before, you don't know me anymore. You genuinely do not know me at all anymore. And I think it's because like I worked so hard at it, and I worked so hard at being proactive.
True.
And nipping it in the butt, because it's like, it's a controversial topic, but like it's awful. Like my best friend, her sister has BPD as well. I don't remember if I talked about this.
I don't think you have.
No?
No.
Oh
If
my
you
God.
did, it was like very briefly.
Okay, true. I don't want to like talk too much about it, because I just realized it's not my story. But it kind of is, in the sense that like my best friend has this belief that everybody who has BPD should be medicated. Like whether they believe that they need it or not.
They should be.
It's the belief that they don't need it is skewed. She knows how bad it was for me. She's known me when it was really, really bad, and her sister has it. In the same sense that we would like, they'd come to the store when I was working at a dispensary to visit me and buy weed, and me and her sister would have matching bumps on our forehead, and we'd have no idea, no clue. It was just we both had breakdowns last night, and it's like we have like goose eggs on our head or like bruises on our arms, and it's like, no, what happened? No idea. Same.
You just like blacked out.
You just like literally black out. And I think it's so important to be proactive so you don't black out.
Yeah. So you don't show up to work with goose eggs.
Exactly. Right? Not to say that I don't have breakdowns anymore or I don't struggle with the very, very common symptoms so much, but I think I work so hard on it that it isn't so daunting in my day-to-day life, because I think anybody with BPD would like say that just day-to-day life is like
it's like all consuming.
Yeah. So I've kind of narrowed it down to only when I'm triggered or like when I'm having bad days, I'm able to work through the bad days so well that people on the outside may not know unless I tell them. So it's almost like gaslighting yourself.
I was just about to say the same thing that that's like, you're talking about it. I'm like, oh my God, you must be so proud of yourself. Like, I'm proud of you. Like, that's like something to be really proud of. And then you say it's gaslighting yourself. I'm like, oh, okay.
Okay, true. Because I'm like sitting there and I'm like, wait, like, because the positive self-talk, I don't believe it in the moment.
Well, it kind of is gaslighting yourself.
Right.
Like, the only time you should ever be proud of gaslighting anybody
is if it's yourself for a positive outcome.
For a positive outcome.
That's true. Because it's like, I'm so out of myself in the moment that I need self-soothing that it literally feels like somebody else talking to me. You're like, never mind, can't relate anymore.
Can't relate anymore. I'm like, okay, split.
She takes out the pepper spray. No, but it genuinely feels like somebody else is saying Natasha.
No, I get what you mean. Like, it feels like an out-of-body experience because it's like you're so, like, not in your, like, I don't want to say right mind, but, like...
It's like, so distressed.
Yeah.
But it's, like, it happens within 5 seconds, so I have to be on that, like, as soon as I feel it. I'm like, it's okay, Natasha, and it sounds like an outside voice.
It's the voices in your head.
Yeah. But I make them say something positive loud.
Oh, my God. Okay, wait.
I'm not on medication right now. Dear best friend. Oh my God. But yeah, gaslight yourself, fake it till you make it, and then you'll be a whole new person.
I'm trying to do more things in the morning. It's just so calm in the morning when everybody else is asleep, and then it's like the roads are empty, and then it's like I'm driving to the gym and it's like just me and my music, and then like I listen to music that puts me in a good mood, and it kind of like gives me a moment to like be by myself.
I feel that exact thing at like 11 p.m.
Yeah, you know what? When I was like in high school, I had like the worst revenge bedtime I ever had. I loved going to sleep so late because it was so peaceful because everybody was asleep.
Yeah,
but now that's just in the morning for me instead of at night.
True. I do kind of want to reverse that. It's just hard that I'm not in a good mood in the morning.
Yeah.
I often wake up in a state of dread.
Okay, fair.
Again, like, I don't know if that's specific or more specific to me, but like in a crowd of people, I don't know how many people are going to wake up with dread aside from me, but I definitely wake up very, very often with this like cloud over my head of this, like, it's just a feeling of doom as soon as I wake up in the morning. So like I do want to try and do more things, but I know I'm not really going to be in the best mood. So then when it's nighttime and I've already worked so hard throughout the day to make myself in a good mood, then it's peaceful.
Yeah, because you kind of like tire yourself out trying to put yourself into a good mood.
That's true. People have literally, like, I'll explain parts of the way that my brain works, like how I think kind of, and people are like, you must be exhausted at the end of the day.
No, that's
and I'm
fair.
like, I am.
That's fair, because you like talk about this and then you talk about your revenge bedtime. I'm like, how are you still like awake enough to stay up?
Have a revenge bedtime?
To have a revenge bedtime.
That's true.
Also, doing things in the morning just sort of helps me center myself for the day.
Yeah, I think one of the ways I can fix that is this is going to be hard because it's kind of like I'm screwing myself in both ways, in the morning and at night. Like, I'm getting rid of my revenge bedtime, and I'm forcing myself
to wake up early. Yeah, so you're just like sleeping for like 3 hours.
Yeah. So I think I need to go to bed early, wake up super early in the morning to try and get that time, like that 3 hours it takes myself to get myself out of that state of doom before anybody else wakes up. Maybe like even squeeze the gym in there, like that can be included in that 3 hours of like whatever.
There you go. That could be like half of that 3 hours.
Right?
Yeah.
And then it's like maybe the 3 hours will get shorter because I go to the gym.
True.
I go to 2 hours, an hour and a half that I can't speak to anybody.
Yeah, so then by the time everybody wakes up, you're like in an okay mood.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like work starting, I can like socialize that. Like when I'm working, especially at a store, when I know that I have to deal with customers, oh my God, I'm such a bitch before 10 a.m. I try hard with the customers, but it's like I try hard with my colleagues too, but like not as hard as in like, hi, how can I help you?
Yeah.
Like they know I'm having a morning mood.
Yeah.
Do you notice it with me in the morning? She's been working with me more often in the morning.
In the morning, yeah.
Like,
oh, definitely, yeah.
I perk up more at like 11 a.m. Okay, see?
Yeah, no, yeah.
And people have said it to me before. And
I
I'm
like
okay.
try to like stay out of your way sometimes.
See, I've heard that before too, and it makes me feel bad. So I'm like,
no, but I'm like, I do it for myself.
See, people say that too. People like don't feel bad because I just know better. Like we're just gonna like work with it, and
like,
I'm
it's
like,
okay.
I'm like maybe if
like,
I
know who you are. Like
exactly. So maybe if I just get those hours out of the way before anybody wakes up, because I know I'm gonna perk up.
Yeah, I'm nicer when I wake up earlier, go to the gym, and then do my own thing, and then come home. I'm nicer.
Okay, true.
I'm in a better mood.
True.
I'm more talkative.
Oh my God, I hate that. I know you can probably see the flip in my face once the clock strikes 11. It's like the opposite.
You know what?
It's like Fiona,
sometimes.
like Shrek.
Oh yeah.
I like turn back into a person.
Oh my God.
That's crazy. I don't know why I said self-soothing when I was talking about positive self-talk, because I have it as a completely other thing on my list. But this is what I was talking about kind of like with the therapy techniques. I continue them even when I'm not in therapy. I am not in therapy right now. I'm in one of those kind of phases.
I'm like, isn't that the point of therapy though?
What?
To learn like tools that will help you even when you're not in therapy.
Yes. And I truly believe that if it was a thing kind of like integrated into schools, it would stop when people graduate and nobody would need therapy anymore. We'll talk about that in another episode. But that's
an interesting thought. I never thought about it like that.
Right? Because I know that you still should do therapy when your life is going good, just to kind of have that outlet. But when you find ways to have the outlet within yourself or healthily within your circle or whatever, you don't, like, therapy costs money.
Yeah.
You know, you don't need to be spending that money. I don't have OHIP Plus coverage anymore. I am not in a treatment center, nor do I want to put myself in a place where I need to be in a treatment center. So I kind of had to do the techniques on my own that I've learned. Like, I actually had to put it into practice, unfortunately. Because, you know, you go to therapy 6 times in a row and you're in treatment the 6th time and you're learning the same thing.
Yeah, one time I was in a support group as a young teen, and by the end of it, I was like, oh my God, like we covered this already.
Exactly. And then it's like after the 6th time and I'm an adult, I'm like, shit, maybe I should practice it. Like, actually not just for homework, but like practice it. So I did, and I use a lot of them on the day-to-day, and I find that after I was able to kind of get rid of that sense of doom all day or that anxiety all day using the techniques, now I only use them when I need them. Nobody would have guessed it, but I was doing for a full year maybe, I would start my day with like, what is it called? Ice dunk. But I would like, through my morning tears, like be blubbering in this bowl of ice and freezing
like
cold
wash
water.
Your face in it.
Yeah.
Dip your face in it.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people do it for like skincare too and stuff like that, and just to kind of wake yourself up in the morning. It was different kind of when I was younger and an adult. When I was an adult, they literally told me to keep my face in there until I felt like I couldn't breathe anymore.
Really?
Yeah. Like,
what
I should be holding it for like 30 seconds-ish.
What did they tell you before?
10 seconds, dunk it for 10 seconds, come up, dunk it for 10 seconds again.
Oh, like in intervals?
Yeah.
But then after that, it was just like one long thing?
Yeah. And it's like, if you feel like you need to do it again, go in for 30 more seconds. Did they ever say why? I think it's more of like an intense kind of like shock. Like, you're forcing your body to like think about something else, like feel another sensation. Okay. And it's not more so like a gradual, like, okay, calm down, honey.
Oh, it's like a very hard, like, kind of reset.
Yes. Yeah. So I would do it every single morning when I was working at this dispensary that I talk about a lot. And it was something that I definitely needed to hold myself accountable for, because when I didn't do it, I often found myself just like the morning anxiety would continue until I went to bed. And
Oh, morning anxiety would turn into like the whole day anxiety.
Yeah, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. So kind of having that hard reset, forcing it even if I felt like I didn't need it, it was so important. And box breathing in times of stress, where like you like breathe in for 2 seconds, hold for 2 seconds, breathe out for 2 seconds, hold for 2 seconds. A lot of people do triangle breathing if you like can't hold your breath that long or whatever. I do that. I don't do that as often anymore. That's a fucking lie. I was like, wait a second, that's a fucking lie. I'm pretty sure I do it every hour, even in senses that I'm just like, I'm overwhelmed with too many things to do. Box breathe.
Oh.
Center yourself, ground yourself again, and then think about it. So that helps a lot. 3 things is a little bit more intensive, but like 3 things that you can see, 3 things that you can feel or hear, whatever, and you go down the list.
I've seen memes of those of people doing it in the club.
I was gonna say, it's like, sorry I didn't answer you. I was naming 3 things I could see.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's me. But they're all very much like grounding techniques, because when I get overwhelmed or distressed, like my feet fly off the ground and I'm just like soaring, and who knows when I'm gonna come back. Another really important thing that I've had to teach myself how to do, this is gonna sound counterproductive, but postponing your feelings is something else I've learned. As much as like you don't want to let things bottle up inside until they explode, you also don't want to be, like, for lack of a better words, a blubbering mess all the time.
Yeah. Because like your life doesn't stop just because you're like crying.
Yeah, and that sounds harsh, but like the world happens with or without you. And you like always have to be moving forward if you want to achieve the things that you want to achieve. So I think putting that into practice to the point that it kind of becomes natural, there's a right time and a right... I sound like Abby Lee Miller. I always say this when I talk about this.
Do you really?
I can hear Abby Lee Miller saying, save your tears for your pillow.
She says that?
She says that to 9-year-olds.
Oh.
Here's the difference, is I wouldn't say it to a 9-year-old. I would not look at a 9-year-old and say, save your tears for your pillow. I have always said that like the core beliefs that I have been taught and like that I live by align a lot with what Abby Lee Miller tells these girls. She just says it so harsh. Her delivery is not okay. Her delivery is abusive.
We it's a 9-year-old.
Point blank. Exactly. Her delivery is abusive.
To children, to literal children.
To literal children. But JoJo's talking about it and she's like, you know, like, I think about, like, Abby was always right. She's getting heat for saying Abby was always right. I don't think her delivery was okay. Like, I understand what JoJo's saying, she shouldn't have said that. But she said, like, when she said, JoJo, like, you deserve nothing. She's standing there crying as, like, an 8-year-old. And she's like, you deserve nothing. And she's like, she was right. I don't deserve anything. I earn it. So the idea is there.
Yeah.
And she learned
delivery is bad, but the idea was there.
Exactly. And now her idea is there, and we have the same idea of like life, but JoJo sitting there still being like, Abby was right, or like they would still look at a 9-year-old and say, you deserve nothing.
Yeah, because one person like JoJo could take it as like, you deserve nothing because you work for it, whereas another person could be like, you deserve nothing because you just deserve nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It depends on how you interpret that.
Exactly. Right. But I have a lot of those like same kind of harsh mindsets. And again, I grew up with a mom that was literally like, live with it or die. Those are your only 2 options. So the idea of postponing your emotions, I think, is a little bit harsh because it's kind of saying like there's a right time and a right place to feel an emotion. But I think training yourself to be able to recognize the emotion and saying, hey, maybe if I like stay the rest of the day at work and feel it later when I get home, I'll be better off because I finished my day. My paycheck's bigger.
Yeah.
I can still feel it at the end of the day, and I can still kind of think about it and go through the motions later. But for right now, there's things that should be a bigger priority.
Yeah, that's how I learned how to do that in university, because like I would have like exams and stuff and I'm like, I don't have time to be upset and cry about not knowing this when I have to study. Like, I need to study, I need to get this done. Like, I can cry after the exam is done. Like,
right. And that's
not... if I cry now, then I'm not gonna get anywhere.
Exactly.
Because, like, that's something my parents
would
always...
gonna be sad.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something my parents would always tell me growing up. It's like, crying won't get you anywhere.
Exactly. And I think that crying does get you
It does get you somewhere, but, like, there's a time and place.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Like, don't be behind and sad.
Yeah, because then you just get more sad.
Exactly.
It will make things worse for you in the long run.
Exactly. And a lot of people find it to be a hard thing, like pulling themselves out of like a longer period of time of distress, or like a longer period of time of not being in their routine. But it's like just that thing of just doing it. Of course you're gonna have anxiety, and of course like jumping into something you're gonna have all these feelings. Just do the shit that needs to get done. Don't postpone it for too long. I find if I postpone it for like a week, sometimes I'll get into a cycle, like especially during high times of stress at work, where I need to be okay by the next morning, like I need to be right back in my A game. I'll postpone it for like a week and a half.
Whoa.
But then I'm
Yeah, I feel like
bottled
that, like,
up.
yeah, it's gonna bottle
Yeah.
up and it'll like backfire.
Right, exactly. So I think just like post a couple hours.
Like it's
You're gonna
a
live.
daily thing.
Yeah, you're gonna live or you're not gonna live. Just postpone it for a couple hours, bro. I can't.
Making to-do lists has helped me a lot. It's helped me like organize my day, organize my thoughts. It makes me feel productive because I visually get to check off things.
I love a to-do list.
Yeah. And like mental to-do lists don't really work out for me because like I'll be too lenient on myself if I don't check things off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
I'll make excuses. It helps me work on my self-discipline because I'm not as disciplined with myself as I used to be. So finding little things to like sort of put that into practice helps a lot.
I use an app called Timo. We
Have a nickname for it, but
Yeah.
we're not going to disclose what that is.
Yeah, exactly. I learned about it from this girl on TikTok. Her name is Paige. She's from somewhere in Ontario, but she was, or Canada, Ontario or Alberta or something like that. But she was using this app called Timo, Tiimo, and it is like such an intense and strict like scheduling app. And it'll like I have a little widget and it'll count down the time that I'm supposed to be spending on this task, and you can kind of stack tasks and put like routines within tasks and stuff, or tasks within routines, and kind of schedule your day out. And sometimes I use it a lot for like eating even. So I'll like schedule my meals, because if I don't schedule it in that app and there's not something physical like telling me to do it, like the thought will fly away.
Yeah, it'll be like fleeting.
Yeah.
And you won't do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. At work, my days are often scheduled down to the minute.
Yeah. A lot of times I'll see her phone light up and then like there'll be a countdown.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a cute widget though.
Right? Right?
Like I think that helps a lot too.
It does. It does. And I have to do it the night before. If I do not do it the night before, even if every day at work is the same, I wake up and I'm like, scrambled eggs.
Yeah. You get like overwhelmed, then you get like frazzled.
Exactly. And it's like for no reason at all. I did the same thing yesterday. But like
It's the structure though.
It's the structure.
Yeah.
And the like physical, visual. I have my morning routine: pee, wash hands, wash face, brush teeth, down to the minute.
Even your little morning routine?
Yeah.
So it's like from the minute you wake up to the minute you go to bed?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. And I think that sometimes if I have too big of a lull in the schedule, like the strict written schedule at night, that aids in having a revenge bedtime.
Really?
Yeah. Because then I'm sitting there, I'm like, it's not time to go to bed yet. What do I do? And then I get lost in a warp.
Okay.
For like hours and hours and hours. So if I like schedule, and when I say schedule, I mean like clip podcast, make dinner, do nails, do lashes for this amount of time, and then the schedule kind of ends at like 10-11 p.m. I'm like, okay, it's a good time for me to go to bed. I have nothing left to do. I think I definitely need to go back on my medication and maybe some different medication. But if I do my morning routine unscheduled, it takes
Longer?
an hour.
Wow. You know what? I get that, yeah.
Yeah. And then if I have it scheduled down to the second like that, like pee, brush teeth, wash face, whatever, it can take me 15 minutes.
Well, I feel like it's because there's the pressure that you have something to do after that. When it's like when you have it down on the app.
That's true.
Because it's like for me, it's like I don't have it down on the app. But if I know I'm doing something, then it's like I'm gonna hurry up if I have something to do after that.
Yeah.
Whereas like if I don't, I take forever.
We're very like competitive. So if there's like a countdown,
yeah.
we're like, beat the
countdown
countdown.
stress me out. You know, countdown stress me out. I used to say it all the time. That it's like I try to do things as fast as I can if there's a countdown.
Yeah. I always say, and like people will always say, I'm always in a rush. Like people like Natasha, slow down. Like slow down. Like I'm always like. We have in like a family friend who's like a little bit older that comes in also to help at work, and she's always like yelling at me because she's like, stop running. And I'm like, oh, I was running.
Did she actually?
Yeah, she's like, you're gonna fall or like you're gonna get tired, and she's like slow down, slow down. And she's like, it's so hard on me for all the time, but like I'm like, you don't understand, you don't understand. Every day, and I always joke that me and Audrey grew up on the game Perfection.
Oh, I love that game.
We
I love that game.
and it was like how many seconds, like how quick can we do it?
Yeah.
Like can we do it in 5 seconds? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I love that game. It was so much fun. That was like, and I like that it was just me who played it.
I'm dead. True. Or that Operation game.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah.
So we're very quick and detail oriented.
Mm-hmm.
Another healthy habit is budgeting. So important.
I love watching TikTok budgeting. I keep forgetting to send you some.
Yeah. True. Yeah. True.
Yeah.
I want to look at those because I love romanticizing budgeting as well, like making it as cute and fun as possible.
Yeah, and that's what the TikTok girlies do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then I want to do it.
Yeah.
I want to look at it. I want to do it. I want to make it prettier.
And I love that like people are making TikTok videos about it.
That's true. Spread awareness, you know?
Yeah.
I think it's so important to have the mindset that 0 is not 0.
0 is not 0.
Yeah.
Too many people think 0 is 0.
Exactly.
0 is not 0.
Not as an adult that's trying to plan for a future.
Especially in this economy.
I know, right?
Things are expensive.
Exactly. So kind of being like strict with yourself with spending habits then leads to being able to save more. And this is like, I don't even care about like, this person makes this much money, this person makes this much money. What are you doing with each percentage of the money? How disciplined are you with each percentage of the money, no matter how much it is or how little it is? I think it's important to kind of build above 0 and then have new numbers as your 0. So let's say you're used to having 0 as 0, make $100 your 0. So now that every time you dip under $100, you're technically in the negatives.
Mm-hmm.
Feel bad. Yeah. It sounds harsh, but that's like the premise of it. When people say
Yeah.
it nicely, they're really saying feel bad.
Yeah.
When you go under 100, and then change it to 500, and then change it to 1,000, and then next thing you know it, there's your emergency fund I always talk about.
Yeah, and I feel like it builds up faster than you think it'll build up.
Oh, it absolutely
Yeah.
does. It absolutely does. It becomes easier. You know, when I started like super strictly budgeting with myself, it was really hard, and I like felt like I was missing out on things, and like staying home more was hard, and like not getting my nails done and my lashes done as much or whatever it would have been. They come back because 0 is no longer 0. You have like, you feel more confident spending your money and things like that. You just,
Yeah, I feel like you have more space to do things.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And there's even less stress. And I think that planning for a future is so important. I think the younger generation now that's kind of entry level going into the work world has too many excuses.
I feel like we lack a sense of urgency. Like there's a
That's
lack of
true.
urgency that's like not there, and a lot of people are not as stressed as they should be. I'm not saying that you should be like overly stressed that it's like debilitating, but the fact that it's like
Not a worry.
yeah,
Everyone's like, don't worry. And it's like houses are fucking up the ass.
Yeah.
Like it's like, what do you mean don't worry?
like my parents bought our house for like 200,000, and people on my street are selling it for over $1 million. You know, like that's a big jump. And it's a conversation that a lot of like me and my friends have about how we'll like never be able to afford a house, and we joke about it, but it's like actually a serious thing.
Right.
You know?
And I'm unfortunately one of those young people that doesn't believe it's that much harder now. I think looking at statistics, which I have, the relation between minimum wage, the cost of housing, and inflation there's no drastic difference. There's no drastic difference whatsoever, statistically. We'll talk about it in another episode, but there's no drastic difference. So I think the whole thing that houses are so expensive, unfortunately, in my mind, I'm going to get flack for it, is an excuse. Work harder then. What are you going to do? Be left behind? What are you going to do? Change the world? Come on, guys. Get up. Get up. And I think it's like, just because you have that, even if it was hard or not, then plan for it. Again, what are you going to do?
You're
Change
already
the world?
aware that it's hard.
Exactly. So you're just going to sit there with that awareness and fall behind then.
Make it harder for yourself.
Exactly. Like, you know the game. You said the game. Is it unfortunate? Maybe. Especially for the people that truly believe that there's such a difference, even though back then they were literally making $2.75 an hour. It's like, just work harder then.
Oh, like Kim Kardashian.
Literally, I was such a fan. I was like snapping my fingers when Kim Kardashian was like, get up and work, get off your ass and work. Because somebody had to say it. It just,
It just happened to be Kim Kardashian.
exactly, exactly. You know? So, like, even having that mindset, work harder now, save your money, be strict with yourself, stay inside, and be ready for when it drops.
True.
Everyone's saying it's gonna drop again. It's gonna
but
drop
they're not
again.
gonna be ready for when it drops. Because when it drops, what are you gonna do? You don't have any money.
You're gonna miss it again. What are you gonna do? Scramble and like get 100? That no, no, you're not. No, you're not. So get it. Live at home. Do whatever. Say the excuse, but then right as it comes, grab a house. Grab a house. Grab this. You're ready. Stay ready, Janae Aiko. You know.
Another thing I'm trying to do is doing things scared. You know, the world doesn't stop. You have to do things scared sometimes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because it's like, always trying to make an excuse. Like, if I get really anxious about something, like, I won't do it. But it's like, sometimes I have to do things.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, I can't just not do something because I'm scared to do it. Like, making new friends makes me anxious. Sometimes I would just not go to an event if I knew that, like, I would be meeting new people. Or, like, even with go-karting, it's like, if I don't know how one thing, like, if I don't know what to do the second I get there and, like, everything to do after that, like, if I don't have, like, a step-by-step, like, agenda of what to do when I'm there, then I'm gonna get stressed out. I won't want to go. But it's like, how would I even know what to do if I'm not going?
So it's also kind of like letting go of things you can't control.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to do that.
So I love that. I love that. Like the little snowboarding girl.
Yeah.
What do? Do it scared. Something that I've liked to do for a really long time. This came from therapy or something, like some sort of person trying to help me with some sort of professional trying to help me with my mental health when I was younger, said to not spend time in my room unless I'm sleeping. And I have talked about my trouble sleeping before and my super extreme revenge bedtime. It doesn't super help with the revenge bedtime, but it definitely helps with being able to fall asleep. I used to have a lot of trouble falling asleep, staying asleep, whatever. So kind of training my mind to think that every time I enter my room, I should be sleeping. So that my body will naturally be tired and will naturally kind of fall asleep as soon as I lay in my bed. If I'm laying in my bed all day, my body's going to get confused.
Yeah, you have to make the boundary.
Exactly.
It's really hard. Like, my desk is right beside my bed, just because, like, that's how my room is set up. That's how it's always, like, there's not many ways you can reconfigure. Yeah,
exactly.
So then, it was really tough when COVID came around. I had to do my school, but, like, it was right beside my bed, and, like, I got to the point where I would do, like, my Zoom classes in bed. Like, I would wake up 5 minutes before the class, get my laptop. I would literally not get out of bed, just lean over, get it from my desk, turn on my laptop, do the class, turn my laptop off, and then go back to sleep. Yeah. Even the other day when I was editing our podcast episode, I was doing it in bed, and, like, I feel like it just took me way longer to get it done.
Yeah. Just having that strict boundary with yourself of, like, do not be in your bed unless you're sleeping. And I'm a strict believer in, like, no TV in the bedroom. I've been like that for, like, a very long time. Since I had trouble not sleeping, I had one when I was, like, a teenager and younger than that, because I used to, like, fall asleep with the TV on, and then I was grounded throughout most of, like, my formative years. And when Audrey lived with me, like, we were both grounded all the time. So our only option was to watch TV. They would take away our phone, our laptop. We were not allowed to leave the house. It was like, you eat and you sleep, and that's it. So we watched TV. And that's really the only period of my life that I can remember watching TV. I have no idea what, like, TV shows are popular, what movies, no clue. So, separated from that world. But I only really know what's going on when I'm dating somebody or, like, with somebody, sleeping with somebody casually, whatever, because you watch TV. But not in the bedroom for me. I think that's something that I'm going to continue throughout my life, and I almost don't want my kids to have TVs in their bedrooms. I don't want them to, like, live in their bedroom.
Yeah.
To help your mood and your productivity, it's important, I think. And the most important for just better sleep is
sleep is
easier.
so important.
Yeah, and it's easier when there's that strict boundary of, like, when I'm in here, I am sleeping, and I never thought I'd be like this, but, like, do I struggle with the revenge bedtime? Yeah, still. But when I lay down, I'm asleep. And, like, that's it.
Yeah.
that's the end of the story. There's no like tossing or turning. There's no like
Like,
whatever.
your mind isn't awake still.
Right. Right. And my mind never shuts off, so I genuinely think it's that like strict training of like I don't sit in my bed. I don't like the only time I'm touching my bed is when I'm
When you
asleep.
go to sleep.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that though.
That is the only time I touch my bed. So, if you have trouble sleeping, try that. Yeah. We also lied. We had one of the same topic, so we only have 9 topics. 9 healthy habits to change your life. You guys are gonna have to figure the last one out on your own. Sorry.
Let's ask the audience how they feel.
Okay, so for our segment today, we're gonna do Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader? So we have my mom behind the camera reading us the questions and our little buzzers. And we have 10 questions, I think. So some ground rules to cover. Once you buzz in, you have 1 chance to say an answer. As soon as you're wrong, the other person gets a chance to steal. If you both get it wrong, either repeat the question and move on to the next question. We are allowed to pass. We have some extra questions. So if we don't know, and we'll move on. And yeah, is that it?
Yeah, I
Can't
think
ask
that's
for
it.
help.
All right, are you ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Multiple choice. What is the smallest prime number? A, 0, B, 1, C, 2, D, 3, or E, 5?
1.
No, sorry.
3.
Aw.
No, sorry.
0.
No, sorry.
Oh, what is it?
2.
2. Oh my god.
okay, yeah.
Wait, what is a prime number again? Isn't it? It can be multiplied by.
You can't divide it by itself.
Oh, you
I
can.
think. No, you
You
can't
divide
multiply.
it by itself and just 1.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
Math is not my strong suit. We've gone over this.
Okay, next question is, this is just an answer. You guys just answer it. It's not multiple choice. And it is, okay, what is the plural form of the word deer?
Dear.
It is.
What?
Yeah, that was a trick question.
Oh my god.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay, next question is multiple choice.
I'm sweating.
Who was the first person to step foot on the moon? A, Neil Armstrong, B, Edwin Buzz Aldrin, C, John Glenn, D, Sally Ride, or E, Alan Shepard?
Armstrong.
Yes, you're right.
Oh my god.
So the next question is, okay, what country has the longest border with the United States?
Canada.
Yes.
Country, I was thinking province.
Oh.
Goodness.
It's like Ontario.
Okay, so this one is multiple choice. Carefully is an example of what type of word? A, adjective, B, noun, C, verb, D, adverb, or E, pronoun?
Adverb.
Yes. What type of animal can live on both water and land?
Amphibian.
Yes.
I was gonna get it wrong anyway.
What were you going to say?
A mammal.
Name the hardest natural mineral. A, iron, B, cobalt, C, quartz, D, silver, or E, diamond?
Diamond.
Yes.
I know that from Minecraft.
Oh my god.
Okay, next question. The interior angles of a triangle always sum to what degree?
Wait,
180.
Yes.
I was gonna say, wait, is it multiple choice?
No, I said it's not multiple
I know, but I wasn't paying
choice.
attention. I wasn't paying attention.
This one is just an answer. This is not multiple choice. I ask the question, you give me the answer. In English, lies is the plural of what word?
Lie.
No.
Oh.
I'm like, I think she's saying lies, lies, but she has an accent, so I know it's not that obvious.
No,
Lies.
it's lies, like hair lies.
What?
Yeah, see,
Lies.
she has an accent, so it's
lies. I thought you said lies.
said
so
As
did
in
I.
untruthful.
So did I, and then I
Lies.
was like, no, there's no
I
way.
didn't never until now. I never thought you had a Filipino accent.
Okay, so in English, lies is the
Lies.
plural of what word?
What the heck? I thought it was.
I thought it was just lies, like a deer sort of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yes.
Lice.
No, she said that lies.
No, I said
No, she said lie.
Laos.
Laos.
What?
Laos.
It's Laos.
That is so weird.
I've never knew
Maybe
that.
by accent it should be
I think that if I
Laos.
asked a 5th grader that, they would not know.
Okay,
True.
so this is multiple choice. Last question. What is the area of the square with side 5 centimeters? A, 50 square centimeters. B, 5 square centimeters. C, 25 square centimeters. D, 15 square centimeters. Or E, 20 square centimeters.
Oh my god, do you have
Do
another
you rock,
question?
paper, scissors?
We can do rock, paper, scissors.
Okay, ready? Rock, paper, scissors, go?
Wait, rock, paper, scissors, shoot?
Yeah.
And I'll go on shoot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ready?
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Man!
People always do scissors first. There's psychology behind it.
I know. See, and I know that
25,
too.
C,
Yeah, it is
25.
25. It
Yes,
is 25,
C,
yeah.
25. Okay, and
What was
that's
the
it.
score? What was the score?
Done.
3 to
Oh my
6.
God.
Caillou
Oh my
wins.
God.
6.
Okay, so that's all that we have for today. Thank you guys for watching and or listening.
Make sure you're following us on all of our socials at HarshWordedPod.
If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like and subscribe. And we'll see you guys actually next Sunday. We're going to change our posting schedule to Sunday
Yeah.
morning. So we'll see you guys next Sunday.
Bye.
Bye.